If you want to make money, you have to focus on the journey, not the outcome. Now, this is not some, spectacular answer, but it's the truth, right? In terms of making money, if you focus on the outcome, what happens is, and by the way, the outcome is, making X amount of money. So 8 grand in 1 month, right? My first month getting that new sales job or, starting that business, right? What happens is if you focus on the outcome, right? And you don't get it, which is more than likely you will not get it. You will do this for a very long time and still not get it. That's the truth, right? It's the hard truth. Even if you want it bad enough, you still will not get it, right? Because you need the skill sets. So, and if you do get it, that's great, but more than likely you won't. And because you focus on the outcome and you didn't get it, guess what happens? Everything drops down. Now you're in a spot where you're like, oh shit, it didn't work out, right? So I'm going to give up now. So if you make the reward higher, you got to keep in mind the risk is higher as well. So like, why am I even saying all this? I changed my environment and now I realize this. What do I mean by changing my environment? I recently got this new sales job online. I've been doing online sales for like a year and a half now. Have worked for like so many different companies and collected tons of cash, right? This new company I'm working for is not super like, what do you call it, unorganized. These guys are very organized, right? Most companies you'll see are not organized in the online, info product space, course selling. I do high ticket sales, by the way. This guy was very honest and it made me realize, right? My arm is getting a bit tired, but you need to make money by focusing on the journey, right? If you focus on the journey and the small little progress, you will eventually get to that. It will naturally come to you. The reward will come to you. When you want the reward will not be, I can't say reward, but when you want the reward, it will not be given to you. The reward will be given to you when you don't even need it as much anymore because you focus so much on the progress. Watch any movie, right? I don't know if that's blocking my hand, but my right arm is tired. Any movie you watch, right? What happens? Oh, I'm trying to get the outcome. They try to work so hard towards it. And then they face that one character who's the antagonist and they lose, right? Guess what happens after that? After they lose. Then they go get a coach or a mentor who was like an expert. And guess what happens? They start understanding and learning, right? The journey, the process. And then naturally they get better and they don't even realize it, right? Okay, this is very bad holding a phone like this, but they get so good at the progress that the results themselves just come and you don't even realize it. So by changing my environment, I realized this. My old environment was so focused on, oh, if you truly wanted it, you would have gotten it, this. Yeah, but you got to understand you're human after all. Go watch Andrew Tate, sure. But realistically, you're human. You need to understand that you need to focus on the small progress, not the huge wins. If you focus on the huge wins and you don't get them, which is more than likely, right? Again, I'm not saying don't chase them. The whole point is you should chase them. It's about the mindset you have. You need to realize it's a numbers game. You need to realize that you can't just be a geniuses. Geniuses don't win. The hard workers win. And I'm not saying you'll work hard enough and then you'll get it. No. You need to understand that every single day is a game. It's a progress, right? It's progress every single day. So by understanding this, right, and changing your environment and also changing your mindset, it will allow, okay, this is hurting my arm, but it will allow you to get better with the progress, right? So my mentor and the sales manager I was working with right now, he told me this, right? And the reason why I'm even recording this and why this makes sense, it's due to the fact that a lot of people out there, and I'm saying this from my own experience, right? It's like, what will happen? I don't know. You're like, I'm going to start this YouTube channel. I'm going to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month. You try and you don't get it. I'm going to win this soccer tournament for my football team. You try and you don't get it, right? Most people, yeah, like David Goggins, he would keep going, right? You should keep going. That's the point, right? You should keep going. But you need to understand that you're expecting such crazy shit to happen. It's not going to happen. It is a shitty path. And you're not going to know where you're headed, but you just need to win every single day. If you win in a day, and you feel more confident, the next day is going to be just, it won't be crazy better, but it'll be a bit better. That's what I'm trying to understand, right? You can't increase by 10% every day. You can't increase by 1% every day, but you can increase by 0.1% every day. Actually, you can increase by 1%, but I don't like thinking like that, because 1% technically out of 100 days, you would get 100%, right? 100 days is a lot, but at the same time, it depends on what you're doing, and sometimes you need more, right? So sometimes it could be 0.5% every day, 0.1%. All that matters is you're at least improving a bit, and you're going to feel like you're not improving. That's like the most normal thing. What to do for that, you simply just got to understand, again, it's a numbers game, right? You are improving technically. Set up a list, do something where you're like, okay, you know what? I improved at this, right? And it's so easy to improve in something, like in sales. Like, if you can't, like, okay, you're like, okay, I don't know if I'm improving in sales. If you generally want to know if you're improving, first off, you can go to your old calls, listen to your old things, and you'll be able to tell. But second off is having someone to actually tell you that you've improved, and not bullshit it, but genuinely someone who's seen you in the shit, and someone who's seen you, get much better, and they've seen you, and like they're very honest with you, right? That's the most important thing. They're honest with you. They've shit talked to you, and they've also hyped you up when you've deserved it, right? So having that will also make you realize you're progressing every day. Another one, the third one, and this one's quite kind of important, it's the fact that you improving every day, what you could do is just simply, okay, like you're doing sales, for example, sure, do a mock, right? Or like a role play, right? Like someone acts like a customer, you act like a sales rep. And then from there, all you're simply going to do is just literally see like what's wrong, and then you'll find an issue. You'll find something. For example, my issue was I always assume on my sales calls instead of asking it. I would be like, oh, like I assume you want to leave your job, right? And then they would say, no, I actually just want to make more money and not leave my job. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay, see, now that looks bad because I assumed, I didn't ask. So that was my issue, and I didn't realize it until other people told me, and I analyzed it myself. And I was like, oh, now I see it. After I saw this, all I simply did the next day, I just focused on getting better at that. And it's like, you got to understand, dude, we have the internet now. There are literally sales AIs out there, like Kendo AI, right? If you want that, comment it. I'll drop the link. But Kendo AI has made a huge difference as well. It's made by Luke Alexander, the guy who made Closer Cartel, right? You've probably seen him a bunch on Instagram or YouTube for high ticket sales, right? So just that even made a huge difference. Like, it's just, all I did was went there, and then I was like, oh, hit up your friends, record your spars, like your mocks, right? The role plays, record those and see if you're assuming. It's like a game. You're getting better every day. So that's what it is. Especially if you've played a sport before and you've generally practiced in it, you haven't played it for the fun of it, you'll understand this analogy even more. Like, why is all of this even important? Like I've said, the people who focus on the outcome are the people who fail. Like, literally, because they get so bogged down, they get so negative that it starts, and I'm saying this from my experience, because when I started focusing on the outcome wasn't coming to me. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like, you're wanting something, like, okay, women, right? They find it attractive when you're interesting, right? And then you get interested in them. But what happens when you get too interested in them? They don't like you, right? Because now you're too pushy for it. So that's literally what it is. If you like something so much and want something so bad, at one point it's going to start becoming unattractive and desperate. People don't realize desperation is not a good thing. Desperation can help at one point, but if you're desperate, your mind starts doing stupid shit and you make more and more mistakes. Don't be desperate. Be smart. No, don't be smart. Well, obviously be smart, but like, you get my point. Like, be calm. Be like, this is just a part of the process. This is a part of the game, right? And yeah, sure, you're going to feel like, oh, I don't know where this is heading. I don't even know if this is going to work. Bro, go on YouTube and search up anyone's success story. They all say the same shit. They didn't know where they were headed. They didn't know. You just got to understand it's a part of the process, bro. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. So, as someone who's been in the game for a while and, just recently being told this and, recently realizing this as well, it makes a huge difference, right? And again, changing your surroundings are so huge, because if you don't change your surroundings, what can happen is you won't have people to tell you this. Now, this new sales company I'm working for is not focused on the outcome. What happens with sales jobs is like they're so focused on, oh, we got to make this much money this month, guys. Come on. Or no, that's actually a goal. Sorry, that's the wrong analogy. The right analogy, like that I'm trying to say here, is they'll be so focused. They're like, you didn't make money? Okay, give up. Like this is bad, whatever. You won't be given that opportunity. But if you focus on not making the money, but you focus on the progress and the small wins, the small goals, and you have the sales manager, instead of talking about, because KPIs and all KPI means is like tracking sheets, like data and all that. If you focus on the data, you're not going to have success, because you're so focused on that little shit. You're not focused on the actual goal, right? So he literally asked me, he's like, what's your goal? Let's break it down. Write 10 goals, pick one, and then focus on that. My goal is to genuinely make a consistent amount. The problem I'm having in sales is I'm not making a consistent amount. It's very up and down. But again, I'm in a bad spot right now. I'm very broke, right? Like, I've made money before, yeah, but like that's the point of sales, right? It's very up and down. So that's what it is. You just gotta understand that if you want to make money, you need to change your mindset. Your mindset needs to be from outcome focused, which is like wanting that big, huge, like a long-term goal. Because if you look at the long-term goal, like, do you know how hard it is to, like, again, if you focus on the long-term goal, you will not, that's like, okay, I want to go from America to Europe. Okay, can you like look at Europe right now? And like, if you look right now, you can't see Europe from here. But what can you see? What's the farthest point you can see? I don't know. The apartment building that's close to the airport, for example. I don't know, right? Let's say you live close to the airport. You can see the airport, right? So you can see the smaller things. You can see the smaller point. Because what's better? Like, let's say the map is like, I don't know, this big, or like this big, Oh, okay, let me hold that properly. This big. And every single day, you're hopping. You can't go like this, That if you focus on that, you're more than likely not going to do this. If you go like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, eventually you will get there. What's going to be better? Trying to get a huge goal but not progressing in any way, or at least progressing in, oh my God, I can't speak, progressing a little bit, but getting closer every time. Like, what's going to get you closer, bro? Of course, progressing a little bit, that's going to get you closer. That's going to get you way closer, right? So people need to understand this. You need to change this mindset. Do not be focused on, I need to make what, $10,000 this month. Oh, I need to make this much. Like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that, bro. You got to understand. Like, I'm not saying you should give up. No, do it. Like, the whole point is doing it. But you got to understand, you need to have the small wins, the small, tiny wins. So that's the point. And again, like, I'm repeating this. I said this because of the fact that I've realized this, right? Realizing this has changed a lot, and now I'm just putting in so much more work, right? Like, I'm so focused on the outcome, and just having someone who's so focused, like having someone who's done it, and also someone to help you be focused on the goal. Oh my God, can you see my hand? I think you can. I think you can see my hand, can't you? Yeah, you can definitely see my hand. Right? Yeah, you could see my hand the whole time. Okay, that's bad. Anyways, I recorded this whole thing. I don't care. But if you're so focused on, like I said, if you're so focused on the big win, you're not going to get it. So be focused on the little thing, right? Having someone keeping you accountable, and like someone who's already done it and is going to help you get to that goal, and being like, hey, dude, we're going to do this. We're going to get you to X goal, right? And he's going to keep you accountable every day. And he's knowing that goal, right? And he's respecting that. If you work for a company that doesn't even respect your goal and just wants KPIs, just wants numbers, obviously they want numbers. But if they just focus on that, you're not hyping your sales reps up, and you're not going to get the results. You're just not, right? Because you're making them feel down, because sure, they might be hyped at one point, but then they're going to fail and then be like, oh, But if you speak about the goals at the beginning, And then after you talk about, you know, getting closer to that goal and the progress and like where are we at, right? Realistically, you're as a business owner, you're gonna bring in the reps, like the money, and that sales rep is also gonna get better. And what does it mean for you? You're gonna get to your goal. So focus on the goals, but make sure you're focusing on the small wins. The long-term goal, like what mine is being able to, like travel, right? Like I can't travel like the way I want to right now. Having freedom, that's a huge thing for me. But I'm not so focused on that freedom. What I'm focused on is making at least a little bit of money, just a little bit, right? Just knowing that like even if I made 1K this month, I would be happy, right? Because for the past 2 months, like sales has been ass for me because I've worked for these companies, I've helped these businesses grow, and it's very bad, right? So anyways, I have a video that's literally going in depth about like, the issue with high ticket sales and all that. I think it's in the video of you need to make money quick, so here's what to do. I think in that video I go in depth about it, but won't talk about that any longer. And yeah, this is honestly like you need to understand this mindset because a lot of people just, and again with the small wins, even if you can't get to the small one, make the win smaller. Literally make it smaller. Here's another thing that's gonna help, right? I was about to end this video, but here's one more thing. Don't just do wins in one specific industry. Have wins in many different specific. Oh, okay. Can you see my hand? No. Have wins in many different. Is it too close? No. Have wins in many different specific things, right? What do I mean by this? If you have wins in, I don't know, the gym. Sure, you didn't win in sales, you didn't win in business, you didn't win in any of that, but you won in the gym, right? You got a workout done. You did this. You got a higher rep, right? So you still feel accomplished. The goal here is to still feel like you're getting things accomplished. And that's why you need to keep your wins or your goals super small, right? There's a small goals and the long-term goal and goal is different. Just understand that. These are two different things. Oh my God, my camera keeps, you need to keep these things like that. So keep the goal super small and keep the long-term goal in the background, but that's not the main focus. That's just the end result. Because what did we say? If you're attracted to someone and you're too focused on that and you start putting everything towards that, then you're desperate to that girl. And what does desperate people look like? They're not attractive. They're unattractive, right? So the goal here is to be attractive. That's why people talk about the law of whatever the fuck, I can't speak, but you understand the point. So that's the whole point. This is like, it's literally 3 a.m. for me just recording this, but definitely am going to have more videos, a bit of breakdown, like my goals. I'm super focused on this now. Crushing it in sales, like high ticket. And then from there, all I'm really going to do is at the same time, at least upload once a day for this channel and also try to grow my low ticket channel, which is like where I'm going to teach fitness and all that. Right. So I'll definitely, make a launch for that. And then I'm going to start posting and then, I'll sell an offer just for super cheap, but provides tons of value, right? Because obviously I don't have that audience built out for that, but I do have the knowledge in here and the experience, right? So anyways, that's what it was. But again, the moral of today, have the mindset of I need to win small every single day, make the smaller wins and just progress every single day. No matter what, just it could be super small. You don't even realize it. Just at least progress, right? Don't focus on the long-term goal. So yeah.